Everyone's talking about it. The federal investigation alleging that some wealthy parents, including a couple of big names in Tinseltown, bribed their kids' way into several of the nation's premier universities.
We do begin with more on that fallout from the college admissions scandal rocking Hollywood this morning. Actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin were among those charged with paying to get their kids into top schools, but now both could face possible jail time.
As a giant spotlight now shines on the college admission process, we want to look back at a scenario we explored in 2012. So we wonder, what would you do if you overheard this from the table next to you?
I just need you to take the SATs for me.
$1,500 now, and then 4 years of the school you want.
You have to break a 2,000. I need to get into good schools.
We've set up our hidden cameras at Sip This, a coffee shop in Valley Stream, New York, to find out. The young women are actors, of course. The two girls don't waste any time getting started.
The SATs is Saturday.
It's come so fast.
It just came so fast, and I'm not prepared.
And Arnold Seglia is listening to every word.
So can you do for me what you did for Jenna? Because she told me you got like a great score for her. I mean, it shouldn't be a problem because I'm not going to get caught, right?
No.
And we're beginning to think Arnold would rather not get involved.
Yeah, exactly. That's really lucky. I have 1,000 now.
But then, to our surprise,
Might not be my business, but you know what? She's looking to give you a lot of money, and you're going to duplicate her license. If that's what you're doing, that's fraud.
Do you think
that's
it's wrong?
illegal. Yeah, I think it's wrong. Not my business, so I'd interrupt, but you know what? People have to look out for people. If you're going to duplicate your picture on her license and take the test for her, that's fraud. You're breaking the law. So think about what you're doing.
Did you take the SATs?
Think about what you're doing.
and he offers one last bit of scholarly advice before he leaves.
Contact an attorney before you get $2,000 for somebody who's going to take your place to take a
It's
test.
1,000.
The girl taking her place is breaking the law, and so is the girl who's hiring her to do it.
But she gets to pass the test.
Maybe she should just go study and get help. And
That's a thought the old-fashioned way.
correct, the way we did it.
That's right. Debbie Smith, out for the day with her grandson, is about to surprise us all. At first, it doesn't appear that she or her grandson have a clue of what's going on beside them.
I never wanted to cheat on the SAT, but clearly I have no other option at this point.
I promise you, I will get above a 2,000.
But when the subject of fake IDs comes up,
Let me show you my ID.
Okay.
You could tell me if you could fake it.
it's clear that she's been paying total attention. And when Julia tries to drive up the price,
So that'll be like 2,100.
So it's not 1,000.
But this is your future.
Debbie's maternal instincts kick in. She's heard enough.
Isn't it
Significant
illegal?
amount. Excuse me? Well, that's why people pay me, because I'm so smart.
No, they pay you because you're a criminal, white-collar criminal. That's why they pay you. And you do know that. You know it's wrong. You know it's illegal.
And when Esther opens up about her reason for doing this, we hear just how personal this is for Debbie.
Just my parents put so much pressure
I
on me.
understand that. I did that to my daughter, too. I really feel for you. I really, really do. I did not want to say anything because the reason my 2 children dropped out of school is because I was so tough on them.
That's how my parents are too.
Yeah, I was very, very hard. And you know what it did? It backfired in my face when my kids quit school. But right now, they're both making 6-figure incomes.
And her advice for Esther,
But you should sit down and talk to your mom and dad and tell them how far you went. And they'll be prouder of you by you sitting down and telling them where you're at, what your situation is, how you feel, than doing something stupid like that.
time to meet this amazing woman and let her know it's all part of What Would You Do?
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Gosh,
The TV show, What Would You Do?
are you serious? What did you do? Wait for me to walk in the door?
Yes. We've been waiting for you all morning. At what point did you decide, I gotta say something?
Looking at him, seriously. I have 2 other grandchildren, and I wouldn't want to see them do this. And I seen it on the news. I seen kids get arrested, and I thought, oh my gosh, no, not these 2 pretty little girls. So I just try to talk to them.
So we wonder, what if it's not pretty girls planning to cheat, but rather two arrogant boys?
Yeah, I do everything. I take care of it all.
I'm just thinking, like, what if?
There isn't gonna be a what if. The what if is I show up on Saturday, write the SAT for you, and it's a done deal. I don't even need a fake for this. I kind of look like you already.
She tries to stay focused on the conversation with her friend, but she just can't get over what's happening at the next table.
I take the SAT literally like once a month.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's how frequently I have to do it, like when kids pay me. I'm in high demand.
And when money changes hands, she is clearly astounded, but she still won't step in. We send our professional test taker away, giving our stressed out teen a minute to himself. And that's when Viola Yuru makes her move.
Think about what you're doing. Don't do this. Think twice.
Well, this is how kids take the SATs now. It's different.
If that's what you think, then that's the type of person you're going to be when you grow up. You're going to cheat your whole life.
Time to introduce ourselves.
Hi, ma'am. You were amazing.
Hello.
What was going through your mind?
If it was my son in that position, and there was a person like myself sitting here, and they heard that conversation, I would like that this person say the same thing to my son.
George Meller picks up right away on the conspiring young men.
Okay, so what kind of score can you guarantee me on the SAT?
He even texts his wife to see if she's hearing what he's hearing.
I'll make sure that your SAT scores reflect your grades.
At first, it sounds like he's going to give advice on how to cheat.
So why don't you go in a car or something like that and talk in private? This is a public place over here.
But it doesn't take long for him to tell these boys what he's really thinking.
You're a loser.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
I'm not a loser, man. This is my livelihood, all right?
Preying on young kids.
I'm not preying on young kids. He came...
You're preying on them, period.
But George isn't done yet. He has some questions for our anxious high schooler.
You're going to give him $1,000.
He clearly just did.
That's what it costs to get a good grade on the SATs.
Come here studying.
I really don't understand
arrested for this. That's illegal. You can't do that.
It's a loophole. It's fine.
You're a future politician over here. Take the test yourself, period, and deal with it.
What would you do?
Excuse me, Shane. That's my line.
We should break it, huh?
Yeah, let's break.
Hi, sir. How are you? I'm John Quinones with What Would You Do, the TV show.
Hey.
Right. Are you always this outspoken?
Sometimes, when I'm in the mood. That got me in the mood.
And you had to get involved.
Well, the guy's talking out loud over here. I texted my wife. I said, you hear what these people are... We're texting each other back. You hear what this guy's talking about over here?
But even if he was doing it in the privacy of his car, it would be wrong.
Of course it's still wrong. Because obviously the young kid was in a dilemma, didn't know what to do, a lot of pressure from the home, and he sees an easy fix over here, and it's not the way it goes, period.
But we wonder, what'll happen if it's not an insecure teenager looking for easy answers, but his goal-obsessed mother?
Do you realize you need the perfect score to get into a school? And if you don't get the perfect score, there's no way you're gonna get into school.
When our SAT expert shows up, Shane tries to be the voice of reason.
Mom, this is a horrible plan. I don't want to do this.
But Mom won't have it.
Sweetie, we did the fake test. You didn't even break 1,500. That was the pre-test.
So why don't I just go to a community college?
Community college? That's embarrassing. Don't you even say that again.
And Shane isn't the only person uncomfortable with this discussion.
You'd be surprised how many moms pay me to take the test for the kids.
This woman is listening too.
And it's 2,000 even, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And she's astounded by what the mother says next.
We're doing this. And I bet if I asked anybody else in here, they'd be fine.
Really? Really?
But despite her obvious disapproval and Shane's objections,
You're embarrassing.
it's only after the boys have left and our actress Tracy reaches out to her that Monica Kaminsky speaks up.
I also would be worried about you getting in trouble for it.
Yeah, but it's pretty foolproof because I think he pretty much said it's a surname. It's like a.
I don't know, but I would use cash.
Yeah, but you know what he does? So you're not saying don't do it. You're just saying be careful.
In the end, though, Monica puts politeness aside and lays it on the line.
I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it.
No, because it's really bad. No, it's like cheating. Like,
Right. Kids want to impress their parents. They want to make their parents happy. When you're telling him that you're embarrassed by him going, that's really hurtful.
Time to let her know it's What Would You Do?
That's great.
Hi there. I'm John Quinones. What were you thinking?
I just felt really bad for the kid, honestly.
He didn't want to do it, he said.
And I'm sure there are parents like that out there. And I didn't do great on the SATs, so I know how that feels. It's like I wish I could grab him and just say, don't do it.
At the end of the day, whether it was stressed out girls or stressed out boys looking for an easy way out, or an overbearing mother trying to give her son an unethical leg up, when faced with this test, people who stepped in already knew the answers.
What do you want kids to learn from this?
The easy way out never pays out in the long run, and my lesson is over.